where the double 10 points comes from. And here we go. Starting off on Oregon, and I am still losing my mind as I am sleep deprived. Elevate will be the first ones to ban. Shout out Iconic from Bombs. You heard it here first. Shout out Discover. Good luck, good luck. All right, doing their homies some justice here, and we're going to have Thatcher banned from Elevate. Can't say that's too surprising, but that's certainly going to open up the door to Kaid tricking, to mute on the hatch. There's going to be Edic TV for the config big. Well, there you go. Crater, you want to tell Keg to ask them if they got any more shoutouts? Any more plugs that we can fit in here? We have Vicious Gaming banning out Glaz. A little surprising because they're on attack, and also Glaz is just so strong for the two most popular sites in Kids and Basement for this site. So, little bit surprising. The Mira ban, not a surprise whatsoever on the flip side of things. Granted, Vicious Gaming are, let's bring 4 frag grenades. Let's bring Blackbeard or Glaz. Let's bring just power. Power. And let's also have bombs on Hard Breach. So really, Glaz doesn't fit into their plans. So that might be very well the reasoning for that. I am not surprised whatsoever to see Echo being banned over Maestro because, first of all, Maestro, I think, is just better for this site, or better for Oregon in general, just simply because of the information he can provide to your team. Whereas Echo, 1 IQ, and the yokais you can't really hide, easily destroyed. Blackbeard for Hyena, can't say that's surprising. We talked about it. They just bring a lot of power, and that's really about it. However, we are seeing a switch here, something that I am not accustomed to from Vicious Gaming whatsoever, which is no frag grenades on attack. And it's obviously map-to-map specific, and something that I think bodes well for them as just going into the future, where there is a lot more semblance of a plan, strategy, fleshed out things, etc., etc. Just because, I mean, in the past, you could see them just forcing lineups or playing whatever operator they felt was the correct way, and now strategies evolved with smoke planning from Doodle, with Drip potentially opening up angles in a meeting hall. Hyena pretty much always going to be playing Blackbeard if it's available, but still. The plan is refreshing to see from Vicious Gaming because you know they have the talent. They just have to put it together versus these teams that have fleshed this out time and time again.
Looks like it's definitely going to be a construction push. Doodle starting us off very quickly with a kill onto Thunder. That's the Maestro gone. He was likely playing inside of tower with that ACOG. It's a really powerful position for a defender to be playing, but unfortunate that he was caught out by that. That's really a kill that you don't want to go down if you're the defenders. Like, fine, if you lose, like, the Valkyrie or something, it's not the end of the world. You lose your mute, sure, whatever. But the Maestro, that's a guy you want to keep alive. There goes the smoke. Okay, everybody's going down all of a sudden. I mean, I don't even know where this is going down. It looks like Doodle and a gang are just charging forward. These guys on the top floor are not finding anything. Pixel finally finds one, shuts down the man who had been tearing up this lineup. Doodle falling. We're hardly a minute into this game, and half the players have already been dispatched of. Pixel will drop back down to join his teammate Prophet in the basement and try to hold off the last 3 players as they come into the bomb site. Gonna pick up Pixel off the floor and start to go for this plant. It's still a lot of time. We might see things slow down before Vicious go for the execute.
Right, and we're only halfway into this round, so this is all things Vicious Gaming right now, especially with the angles they can open up. That'll be Drip just making sure anything and everything is destroyed. It is a claw. No, I'm sorry. It is a mute jammer preventing the X-Scaros from going off. I don't know why I said claw, because then it would have been destroyed. But still, here we go. It's Vicious Gaming still setting up for themselves. However, without the cover of smoke, it might prove a little bit difficult. It is definitely aided when Pixel just runs at you. However, Prophet will manage to refrag one. He'll fire some well-placed shots into the Blackbeard, but due to the shield, he'll continue to stay up. It is Bombs and Hyena to clutch out the rest of this game as Bombs begins to put down the diffuser, and it is all Prophet trapped in that little closet. And Vicious Gaming take round 1 with pretty decisive fashion and very quick to execute as well. That was a very exciting first minute of that round, and I'm kind of shocked the Maestro went down as quickly as he did.
So I love that round from Vicious Gaming because, okay, first of all, you're defending on the basement as Elevate, and you've already banned out Thatcher. So this should be like ace in the hole. You've got your Kaid. What are they even going to do? How are they going to get in? Well, they're just going to walk in through construction, and they're going to kill 2 players in the first like 30 seconds of the round. Vicious Gaming, they came out really early in this match, and they have set the pace. They've shown up, and they've mentioned to Elevate, hey guys, we're here. This is not going to be an easy game for you, and we plan to win this. Good luck. Really took it hard and brought the kills as fast as they possibly could have. Set the pace. Again, I think this is huge for them. A couple of kills from Doodle, but I mean, everybody putting in the work. The only player not putting on kills is Bombs, but that is totally fine. You know that that's not really the role of this player. It's more or less going to be the other 4 guys who are getting all the frags, playing the frag and operators. That's to be expected. I think that was exactly what they needed on the side of Vicious Gaming to set the pace for this match.
That was very Empire-esque from Vicious Gaming, where it was, you have the operators if you need to do the strategy, but in the end, you just outgun the opponents, and I mean, it works. they certainly get the results when anybody and everybody peeks for them, and it looks like we're going to see a very similar push from Vicious Gaming again with the push into Watchtower.
I actually really like that comparison. I think that there are a lot of similarities between Vicious Gaming and Empire. The largest difference being that Empire are a much better team. Let's just get that out of the way. But the way that these 2 teams have developed their stories, you know, making a huge splash on the Challenger League scene, being known for their gunplay, just coming in, destroying all the competition, at least during the qualifiers. That's what Vicious Gaming were looking like. They've slowed down a little bit for sure, but no, this is a team that you really got to watch out for, and there's a lot of similarities between them and the Russian powerhouse we've seen recently in the past couple of months pop up in Rainbow Six Siege. But that's neither here nor there. That team is over in Europe. These 2 teams are still in NA Challenger League, and they're playing in round number 2 of Oregon, the last match of the night, and a very important game for both of these teams to get a stronger footing in the playoffs and separate themselves just a little bit from this pack that have developed between 2nd and 5th place. Now, Hyena with a very tight angle. He's not going to be happy that he missed that one. Might be kicking himself a little bit because there was a great opportunity. He's probably not going to get that chance again. Rich going to back off.
And this seems to be a heck of a lot of research done on the side of Vicious Gaming, because they have dissected the defensive strategies coming out right now from Elevate, and they are executing at the moment flawlessly as Doodle walks in and picks up the opening kill again for his team with the kill onto Prophet. Now with that M249, that is able to shred soft walls like you would not believe. So that might be his little playground over there, but only time will tell. Pixel did manage to refrag one, and big one indeed with the kill onto Hyena, which is one hell of a pick for how early we are into this game. Rich, though, finds the head of Drip, and that will be the Maverick going down. Still not a ton of utility loss on side of Vicious Gaming, but not exactly the operators you would like to have lost in the first place. Well-placed shots from Rexon will fell Rich, as Bombs also takes out Thunder playing inside a meeting hall. He has not changed his position, neither has Pixel. Vicious Gaming are looking just that. They're looking absolutely vicious.
These guys, like, you put them in gunfights and you say, okay, this is not a gunfight that they win. And then they win. The math doesn't add up. I'm doing the stats. I'll do the calculations again for you. Yeah, no, nothing makes any sense. This team wins way more gunfights than they should. Has 2 successful attacks down onto Laundry Supply, whilst Thatcher is banned, and you still got Kaid on the board. Extremely impressive stuff coming out from Vicious Gaming, and it's all because of their gun skill. I think that they've come in, their execute has been really, really nice. The shots they've hit have been really, really nice, and also, I should mention, the coordination has been on point for those last 2 rounds.
Yeah, and despite it being Rush-esque, where they pretty much force themselves into Watchtower, they're still doing a very good job at taking the time once they have the man advantage to regroup, drone out, and figure out where their next push will come from. And they've done it now 2 rounds in a row to flawless results. And now that forces Elevate to switch off basement, because we talked about this time and time again. The 3rd round is a good round to switch your strategy if you lose the first 2. Simply because if this site works, the 2nd floor works, then you have a chance to revisit this site when you go onto your final round of defense. So there's still way more hope involved by picking your 2nd site on the 3rd go around of things when you lose your first 2.
Yeah, I think it's less risky because you're not putting yourself in a situation where you're forced to win on that site that you lost 3 times should you be in that position. So I think it's a good strategy to swap it up now rather than a little bit later when you've lost a couple of more rounds. And as we've seen in these games, I mean, it can be just a couple of rounds can make all the difference. So has every game been 7-5 today? It has, hasn't it? It's been nuts.
Yes, sir. Well, as we see here, Vicious Gaming are forcing themselves inside a Watchtower, and it looks to be the play they're making every single time, which is hinting at a kid's dorm push. And it seems to be the rest of Elevate are at least getting in preparation for that exact thing. So, for those who don't know, once you have control of Watchtower, you don't have to worry about people flanking you or flanking your roamers. And more often than not, repels come off of Kid's dorm, and then that's the push. Exactly where Doodle's drone is more than likely where you will see this plant attempt to go down. Vicious Gaming have set up well for a minute in, but they have not cleared down below, and as I say that, Rexen will shred through Pixel. And there goes the pulse play from below, and the angles they had set up prior will now only be filled by Prophet for the time being.
No player looking bad on the side of Vicious Gaming just yet, but I think Rexen and AWD have been the star players, at least at the start of this game. We'll see, though. There's still quite a lot of games to be played, and Drip will get dropped by Rich. But again, it's Rexen coming around with another kill. Hyena gonna pick up the 3rd, a headshot onto Thunder, and there's only 2 defenders left alive. It's gonna be Rich and Nog, the 2 guys to sit back on site. Make that one Rexen with the utility from Ash. He's been having an absolutely phenomenal game, and he'll get another one. Rexen, 4 kills on round number 3.
And this is Vicious Gaming saying that we're attacking here. We don't care that you know. Beat us. That's essentially what we're looking at here, where it was so obvious from the beginning, the very beginning, and there were even Valkyrie cameras set up perfectly to telegraph where Vicious Gaming were pushing from. They had a camera inside a Watchtower that let all of Elevate know, hey, they're going to push Kids. They had a camera inside the drone hole from hallway in meeting hall that had a clear view on who was repelling and who was it that was saying, hey, this is where Vicious Gaming is going to push from. And it's one wild Rexen inside a meeting hall. It's forcing yourselves into the site, and they're winning the gunfights. And this is more or less what people expected from Vicious Gaming since day one.
Yes, 100%. This is qualifier Vicious Gaming. Because they come out and they win their gunfights. Like, this is looking really, really nice by them. And, you know, I don't want to say too much bad about Elevate because I think they've just been caught up in the storm. You know, I don't think that their strategies have been poor. I just think that they're losing these gunfights. And against Vicious Gaming, that's the one thing you can't do. Right, you've got to be able to shut them down one way or another. Whether that be outstratting them, you know, maybe you're coming around with the flanks, maybe you're reading the situation better than they are, maybe you're doing runouts, whatever it might be, or maybe you're just beating them in the gunfights. Then whatever works for you. But Elevate have not had a good answer because Vicious Gaming have been tearing it up. Specifically, Rexen and Doodle, I think, have been the star players in this matchup. But I think nobody has been having a bad game so far on the side of VG, and that's why they're up 3-0.
Yeah, and we talked about it. Oregon's a safe pick for these teams because it's so played out. It's so straightforward. It's not surprising whatsoever, and it's a great map for VG in that it's simply a beat us type map. And Vicious Gaming know exactly where Elevate are going to be for half of these pushes. So they know Elevate are going to rotate towards Kitchen when they're pushing Watchtower because that's the response, because you want to hit the people on kids' windows. So what do? They send Rexon through Meeting Hall, and he just shreds through the people inside a Kitchen along with Hyena. And when you clear Watchtower, you know the only defenders that aren't on site that are going to stop you are going to be inside a Kitchen. So they're reading it perfectly so far. With that being said, though, Doodle goes down due to some well-placed shots from the SMG-11.
A little bit of grenade damage coming down to the Jagger. It's always funny to see. Thunder's going to take a little bit onto him. The shield gets broken. No, got to be upset about that one. Over his teammate's going to be able to find Drip on the other window that still leaves the Blackbeard, who can fly around and creep across these windows. Still Pixel on the bottom floor as well. You can't forget about this guy because there are going to be people hunting him. Only 3 attackers remain, and one of them is dealing with a shotgun on a window. I don't care if you got a shield in front of your face. That's a difficult time. But again, Rexon does these things that just don't make sense. Another headshot on a Prophet, but eventually shut down by Pixel. At the same time, his teammate was able to get one. Makes it a 2-on-3. 1 minute to go. Still plenty of time for the attackers to play with. VG don't have to rush this, but I mean, with the way they've been playing, they might just want to. They've got bombs full HP up on the top, close to the site. Hyena rotated around to the big window, so he's going to be able to watch into Kid's Dorm bombs, making sure that this does go well, at least at the start of this take. 45 seconds that are on very little HP, and Hyena finds him from the window. Again, this is huge. It's only Pixel down below. Still a Nitro Cell in his pocket. He can utilize it here. If he can get 1 or 2 kills, that will be the difference maker. But 30 seconds, he wants to be able to stop this plant. Bombs needs to get this down fast or just get the kill. That works too. Vicious Gaming 4 in a row. They're looking so good.
And seemingly when things are not going their way, they're managing to just throw it back in their favor. Good bait by Bombs there. He was using the holes through the floor to hear exactly when and where that pulse was going to rotate from. I am decently shocked that that still flung in the way of VG, but this is the most Mexican standoff type match we've had yet, I think, through all of Challenger League. At least the matches I've casted, this is the most, let's have a gunfight and see how it goes. And this is very much like season 2 to 4-esque of Siege, where it's win the gunfights. There is strategy involved, but it's win gunfights. And we're seeing just how good Vicious Gaming can be when they're put in those scenarios. And interestingly enough, we have so nothing right now is working for Elevate on defense. Vicious Gaming have taken 4 rounds in a row. We've gone to basement twice, kids twice. Now, swing in the dark. Let's go Watchtower to switch it up, because clearly Vicious Gaming are just rolling right on through our defenses.
And this isn't actually like that surprising. It's not so out of the blue. We see teams like Organized Chaos, Toon Squad bring out Watchtower more often than traditional teams will do so. Specifically here in Challenger League, North American Challenger League, I think this bomb site is becoming really popular amongst the teams. Definitely not surpassing Basement or Kids, but it's becoming really, really popular. Teams do go here quite often, even when they don't have to. So it's not the weirdest thing. However, I don't like it because this is going to be a bomb site where you can rely on strategy even less. It's going to be a bomb site where you're kind of just hoping that you can outgun the opponents. I mean, yes, there is some strategy that can go around in T3 and stopping them from actually getting into the building. But a lot of this is just going to be peeking outside of windows, playing around the windows. You know the attackers are bringing a Blackbeard. Hyena has brought it every single time, so that's not going to be a good time. You can tell they're getting a little bit desperate on the side of Elevate, and I'm starting to worry. I'm not going to lie to you, man, Pants.
A lot of this site is predicated on this tier 3 control that you see Vicious Gaming put such a heavy emphasis on, and sure enough, Pixel will go down in that T3 area. He'll crawl away. I'm not sure. He's not down yet. But
what can he do? He can't live.
Will go down. Yeah, so we're in a 5v3 scenario on site, and like I said, Vicious Gaming are taking full advantage of this tier 3 power play, rather. But I will say Elevate should be taking better advantage of the fact that these
That's
angles
nice.
are ultimately how you defend that. And Elevate takes full blown advantage. He'll be put down by bombs immediately, but Prophet is there to take out Rexen. So we're in a 2v3 on site still. Pixel, sure enough, will not be picked up for the remainder of this game. However, I'm not sure if Vicious Gaming are well aware of that. Bombs and Doodle will pick up a kill each themselves, and Prophet will manage to take out Bombs.
Wow.
But with Hyena and Drip left, this is going to be an uphill battle for the Pulse at 1 health.
This is a tough call. I don't know about this one. Drip's right down beneath him on the staircase, and Prophet seemingly has no idea. He'll walk right into the sight line of Yardy, and Vicious Gaming take their 5th round in a row, go up 5-0. They have been looking good. What can we even say, man pants? They're winning this game. If you haven't noticed by now, they're taking a lead, and it's getting dominant.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is attributed to how well Oregon plays to their play style.
Yes.
And I've been saying it where it's so bland to the point where the defenses aren't complex, the offenses aren't trying to figure anything out really. It's more just win your gunfights, and if there's any team that can do it, my God, can it be Vicious Gaming. And from a rather shaky start to potentially 16 points on their hand, we are not even at the half yet. They're up 5-0 in a very short amount of time, mind you. These rounds have not gone the distance very often. For the most part, it's been dumps.
Yeah. Like, with this play, I cannot see Vicious Gaming losing this map. Like, yeah, anything's possible. Each round is a new round. But, like, they've been playing so much better. And the fact is, like, when your strategy is just, like, outgun the enemy team, you can, like, gamble on the next couple of rounds. If they go up 6-0, right, or even if it's 5-1, after this, you've got 6 rounds to play on defense. If you just ran around, like, don't even play strats, if you just run and gun all of those 6 rounds, eventually 1 or 2 of them are going to work out for you. Even if you're not using the strategies, I mean, this is a play that, like, every now and again, at the very least, is going to work out for you. And so far on attack, it's got a 100% success rate. So, I don't know, Elevate. You got to do something impressive. They're going to go back down to the basement. Sure, why not? Nothing's working for you. I think this is, on paper, the best shot you have playing on the basement, so I don't disagree with the site being played. But they're just going to need to play it a little bit better. Vicious Gaming have had a hell of a night. Already 1 win under their belt. Barreling towards a second. Vicious Game, or Elevate, sorry, cannot say the same. They've got a loss under their belt already to Organize Chaos, and now here against Vicious, they are looking like just not even the same caliber of team.
Yeah, and granted, the half switch is definitely going to do them good, as it's a nice refresher from what isn't exactly working out too well. Speaking of not working out too well, Nog attempts to duel with Blackbeard. It does not work out, but Pixel is right there to refresh. 4-4, and if you, for the love of God, if you're Elevate, you're just hoping to grab 1 round out of this so you can go into the half knowing that you have at least the most recent round win. Momentum is huge. Not necessarily that it's huge enough to go 5-1 or 6-0 on defense here, but it still plays a very, very large part.
Yeah, it'll be important that they get this round, absolutely. And if they want a chance at winning or tying this game, I think this is going to be vital for them. But it's still a big mountain, even if they're able to get this one. It's a 4-on-4. Certainly anybody's round at this point in time. I think they've done a good job so far of the wrong person with bombs. He just gets the information, he gets the calls from his team, he pushes forward, and then he gets 2 kills. Why not? Why don't you just win these gunfights? It's that simple, guys. My goodness.
Wow. This is looking more and more like we're going to see a 6-0 half back-to-back in Challenger League. Toon Squad went 6-0 in their defensive half, and Toons looks like Vicious Gaming, and they'll go 6-0. So we are right now 2 6-0 rounds.
How do they do it? how do they keep winning these gunfights? I mean, that last one, fine, it was a 2-on-1 and he had the smoke. That was actually like probably predicted to go in favor of Vicious Gaming. But how does Bombs just walk inside of the meeting hall and get 2 kills? They know where he's at. They know where he's coming from. He flicks exactly to his head. He goes to the next head. Doesn't even matter.
Got the shakes, man. You got the shakes.
He's
so good. You've heard of the CCS shakes. The CL shakes are a whole nother nightmare.
Oh, dude, like you talk about
it is genuinely surprising to see how just flat out dominant Vicious Gaming were that half. We do see Doodle again with the clash. He will switch off. No IQ in sight, so that'll aid the information provided by the Valkyrie. This is not so Villa. We were talking about it. Even though Silla's girls were up 5-1, you still felt like Toon Squad could win it just because of how the map is. Because of how Villa is structured, it's so defender favored. And this map, however, attacking wins this map a good amount.
Yeah, it's pretty 50-50.
And defenders win this map a good amount. Defenders win this map more often than the attackers. So the fact that they were up 6-0 on attack, holy crap! We might see a 7-0. If we do see a 7-0, they will actually launch ahead of Sonics for 3rd place because Sonics will not have the tiebreaker over them as far as rounds are concerned.
Yeah, that's a really great point because, like, contrast this with the last match, and it's a 5-1 half, and you're like, the other team still in it. But since we're on Oregon, it's pretty even for the two sides. I mean, even slightly favored for the defenders, as you mentioned. So, like, you're worried. You're real worried for Elevate. And I think it's really crazy if you look at that last round in particular. Like, you talk about Bombs being the support player from Vicious Gaming, but he's still the support player on Vicious Gaming, so he can still frag out against any player you put him up against. Starting off the second half, pretty strong. You get a lot of damage down onto Pixel through the window, just not aware of that angle. That's going to be a huge chunk of damage that they can work with a little bit later on into the round. Pixel basically forced to be a more supportive player for the rest of this round. He's going to have to get back onto Drone and help out his team in that way rather than just running forward and taking all the gunfights because he's not super likely to win them. Rexon has been on fire, at least at the start of this game. He's cooled off a little bit, but that's more so just been the rest of his team picking it up and he not needing to perform. Eventually shut down up in T3, though. A great shot by Pixel. He'll make his way down the stairs and pick up his friend Thunder.
Yeah, just crawling on his stomach, he eventually picked up the kill onto the awaiting head of Rexon. Still, though, with 2 members in Thunder and Pixel so low, this is still very much an even matchup here, and well, Pixel looks to bring that more to Elevate's strength. As we mentioned it, they have to win 6 attack rounds, and they have to do exactly what VG just did to not lose this playday out flat. They lost once before, and I can guarantee you this is not what we expected for them to go 0-2 this playday, and it's not what most people would expect either. With only Bombs and Hyena left, this is looking like Elevate's first round win as they look to take the perfect round, and they will. So Elevate pick up their first round in pretty dominating fashion.
Yeah.
All right. So
that's nice.
5-0, that's pretty freaking telling.
It's good. I mean, I wouldn't call myself convinced yet.
Despite, so the stats do say, like, despite what you and any one person might think, the stats do say that, and this is stats for comp play, not just like Platin Up. I'm not saying that,
of course,
but that Oregon is still defender sided. So what we see here, though, is 7 rounds for attack in a row. We'll have to see, obviously, how the remaining 5 rounds go, because Elevate, in order not to go 0-2, need to win 5 more rounds in a row, which is such a tall task. But with how dominant they were that round, you never quite know. However, all it takes from VG is a few well-connected shots in one round, and if they can just escape with even 1 round on defense, it's a win. And a much-needed win from the Vicious Gaming dudeskies.
And here's
I'm losing
the thing.
my mind, sorry.
That's all right. Everybody is at least in this matchup. Here's the thing about trying to get 6 rounds in a row, right? If you're a team that really relies on your strategies, if you want to get 6 attacks in a row, you really need to have those strategies down point. If even one of your strategies is off, you're going to lose it, right? Because it's so hard to be able to have that many different strategies that work like perfectly. You need all of them to go well. If your strategy is just win your gunfights, if you're a team who you're planning to get 6 rounds just off the fact that you're winning these gunfights, you kind of don't need to think as much about it, right? I mean, you can sort of just show up to every match, and if you're on that day and the enemy team isn't, if you've got the momentum, one round sort of rolls into the next, and you can really keep that momentum up in a way that strategic-based teams really can't. And so Vicious Gaming, I think they've got a much better opportunity to be able to get just one round here, even though Elevate weren't able to get anything, because I think their playstyle is more in favor of that. That said, it's a nice start from Nog in round number 2 of the second half. Doodle will fall, and he's been a really impactful player so far for Vicious Gaming.
Yeah, that's a hell of a pick, and the operator alone is enough to mention that as an impact frag. I mean, losing Pulse, losing Smoke, those are perhaps maybe along with your Maestro, the 2 operators you have no interest in losing within the first even 2 minutes of this game. I hate hearing the sound of all of these flashbangs. Hyena with the Pixel Peak will take out Prophet. That is a big pick, especially without that wall being open quite yet. Drip will take out Thunder, but Nog is there to refrag from down below. We're in a 3v3 scenario, and again, as this time ticks down, can only favor the Smoke in Bombs, who is just so talented with said operator. Rexen will take some shots from Rich from all the way in bedroom, but he'll smartly reposition and back off. Rexen on that reposition will take out Nog, holding that position inside a meeting, and will rotate on through to kitchen. It'll be up to Pixel and Rich to keep Elevate's hopes alive. And, well, speaking of the devil, Pixel will pick up 1 on Diana. Rexen with 1, Bombs with the other. Vicious Gaming go 2-0 for the first play day yet. Or for the first match day yet, I should say. GG, and what a commanding win from the Gunners.
That was nuts, man. I mean, what is there to say? Vicious Gaming